going to fail. Hands down. It's not my whole message, but it's the billboard God gave me to get into people's heads and hearts. And I'm going to give you 2 success principles. So if you got pen and paper, you got phones, write everything I'm telling you down, because this is what's going to launch you to where you want to go in a lot of areas of your life. People are going to come to you, they're going to ask you advice, and I want you to pull back and steal everything that God gave me to speak to you today. I want you to use information, because this isn't stuff I read on a billboard. It's nothing that I read as a funky tweet. It's not on some kind of desk. This is legit biblical principles of success. 100%. Number 1 rule for success is to not just hear, but to listen. See, Sherlock Holmes says you hear, but you don't listen. You know, the difference between listening and hearing is you actually understand what's being said. See, there's a lot of noise in our life that we just hear, but we tune out. The second half of that is to not just listen, but to jump. You got to jump. There's a lot of men who know exactly what they need to do. They need to get their family right. They need to get their spirit right. They need to get things in their life in order. They hear it, but they don't listen to how it's supposed to be done. Then when they get that point, they never jump into what needs to be. They never get into the game. I don't know what brought you here. I don't know who brought you here. But you're supposed to be here. Every message, every breakout session, every praise and worship, every song, every word, every interaction, it's all part of God's mighty plan in your life. Not for the person next to you or the one who should be here, for you. You're here to just listen and jump. Now, how many people here have been skydiving? Anybody? 1, 2, 3. Dumbest thing on the planet. Skydiving. Dumbest thing on the planet. It's on my bucket list. Well, let me just tell you, I have never, ever had the desire to skydive. Ever. I'm one of those guys, I travel all the time. I just flew in, this time yesterday I was in Haiti. I flew in at 1 o'clock in the morning. I fly big planes. I have super smart people that fly the plane. I've never wanted to jump out of that plane. But I do a lot of speaking, and one of the things I do is there are charity auctions for different schools and churches, and I raise a ton of money, and I mess with people, and I blame it on the kids because it's all for the kids. And so I was doing this charity auction, and my buddy owns a big window and enclosure business in Davison, and I've known him for a long time. So one of the items that I live auctioned was a skydive. It was donated by a guy named Rick Sales, a good dude. I donated it, $400 or $500 I got for it. As I'm up there going lot next and lot next after that, I broke into this little skit about how his commercials are so stupid. I mean, the dumbest. I said, hey everybody, have you ever heard those commercials from D&W about, Dave, where's the phone? I said, that's that guy right there. And everybody's chucking and jiving. Oh, that's great. There was 350 people there, right? 2 lots later, he raises his hand. I look over there. I said, yeah, man, what's up? I walk over. He goes, hey, I'll pay $1,000 if you jump out of the plane. I went, what? They did exactly what you just did. Guy stood up and goes, I go 2,500. Other guys, I go 500, 1,000. In like 47 seconds, $7,000 was raised for me to jump out of a plane, of which I never want to do, like those 3 guys did. I was stunned, man. I speak a good speak, and now it's time to put some action into it, and I had no words. I couldn't come back or anything, right? So that was in March of last year. March, June, July. Everybody was talking, because I know I literally see no enjoyment out of it. There's nothing like, oh, this is going to be thrills, I know what I like to do is a thrill, and that's not it. August came by. I knew that they have a window that's closing quickly. September 2017, Labor Day weekend. I saw the Saturday weather forecast, and it was a beautiful day. I couldn't be a punk. I called the guy up. I said, hey, I'll be there. I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to sign my life away. I want to get on a plane, and I want to get this thing over with. Same thing I did when I got a vasectomy. He had the aftercare. I used to call from the parking lot. You fellas that know what I'm talking about, I'm like, hey, When I come in, it'll be in a brown paper bag with my name on it, my date of birth. Don't ask me any questions. Bam! And I walked out. Same thing I want to do here. Don't talk to me. So I get there. It's in a farm field. Okay, it's not in an airport. It's in a farm field, and there's a farm field runway in this rackety old plane that they take off and throw human beings out. I'm watching all this happen. They're coming out of the sky because all these people are jumping on this day. And I'm going to tell you right now, I couldn't see the plane. And I found out why later. They jumped at 16,000 feet. 16,000. So I go in this room, watch a bad video about all the ways it's not good for you and you're going to die. You have to sign all these waivers. Am I lying? You got to sign all these waivers like this is not a safe sport. This is an adventure sport. There's many risks. You get done watching the bad video and kind of all the paperwork. You go to there's a tablet there. You do the same thing just in case they lose your physical signature. They have an electronic one so they can show the probate court when they're fighting over your will. You get all done with that and they put you in this nasty stinky. Imagine wearing a bowling shoe because it's called a jumpsuit. All these people, you know when you are nervous, people fart and they make all these sweats and it stunk. I'm like, oh my gosh, because you know they never wash it, right? So all of a sudden they assign a plane. You know what the plane's name was? Black Hawk 7. First thing I thought of, I said, did that one go down? Why? Any other name but Black Hawk. And you gotta wait. It's like an hour and 15 minutes by the time you get there. I'm thinking I'll get there, sign, jump, boom, done. We're good. An hour and 15 minutes later, they're going. It's a tandem jump. So my instructor, Rick, is there, and he's like, this is what I'm telling you to do. I am listening to this guy, like, every syllable. I got it. Because he's like, listen, man, I've got my medication regulated. I'm not depressed anymore. It's going to be fine. So the plane lands, and you go up, right? And my heart is going nuts. Now listen, man, I've done dozens and dozens and dozens of raves. I've been in high-speed chases. I've crashed cars. I've been shot at. I've been on foot chases. I've picked up dead bodies at every stage of decomposition. I've been in fights. I was freaked out. You get in the plane, guy's hooked to you, right? So as we're going down the runway, it's me and my training jumper, my buddy Mark, sitting next to him, and his guy, and 5 independent jumpers. Now these guys do it all for fun, you know? And Mark and I are just like first timers. We're strapped to the instructors, listening to every word. Now he tells me, we're going down this runway, we're going to take off, and then the door's going to open. And when the door is open, you got to go. So I turned to Mark and I said, Mark, I will not come down on this plane. I will jump. If for some reason, a panic, a freak out, he's a big old mason. He's got big old hands. I said, I want you, full permission, punch me right in the face. Like I'm telling you, hit me as hard as a cinder block, knock me out, and throw me. That's it. I want to fall out. I don't care what I look like. I cannot come and face other men of integrity and ever admit that I didn't do it. So the plane takes off, man, and it's bouncing. I'm thinking, this is exactly how planes flip over. And I'm hooked to another human being. And we're going to burn to death. And I'm going to burn with a man on my back. That ain't the way I want to go out. So it takes off. I'm not kidding you. It seems like an hour. And you're strapped there, and every foot of altitude climb, it gets more and more anxious. We must have been going up. It seemed like forever. I said, how much longer are we going? And they looked at his altimeter and he goes, we're at 5,000 feet, another 11,000 to go. I'm not kidding you. I'm not exaggerating what else. We went through one level of clouds. We go to the second level of clouds. We're at 15,000 feet to give you a 30-second warning. Now, I've always understood that if a door opens on a plane, in air, people get sucked out. I've seen it on movies, right? Not this plane. They have a side garage door. Whoosh, they open it up. Instantly, the temperature drops like 30 degrees. Those 5 guys, now it's go time. Green light, they're like, go, go. I'm not trying to slide down. I listened to every word he was saying, but now I'm in full panic mode. My foot gets caught on a belt, like a seatbelt there. He's pushing. And this is the worst part, I'm telling you. You gotta sit on the edge of the plane with your feet dangling out. I can see the curvature of the earth. You gotta shoulders back, head up, Normal human beings count to what? 3. Isn't that the rule? 1. Okay. 2. Out. Boom. I'm telling you, fellas, as I rolled out, I looked back and there goes the plane. You're free falling 130 miles an hour for a minute. All the fat in your face is jiggling. Your arms all look like a doggone chicken. Then they yell, smile, because I have the video guy right there, right? So I'm like, no joke. Then the chute opens up, and everybody thinks, oh, that's got to be beautiful. No, it wasn't. I've seen Cliffhanger. I know how buckles fail. And I don't know where they bought these buckles. All of a sudden, the chute opens, and whoa, it castrates you. I'm up. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I'm thinking to myself, because this is the study that I think of, if I'm free falling and the guy on my back dies, like he has an aneurysm, he's dead, right? There's the video guy that can come over like Tom Cruise, grab me. I can wrap my arms around him, like dry hump him like that, and hold on for him to shoot up, and I can still live. But when the chute goes up, nobody's coming for you. What happens if a buckle breaks and you fall from there? I don't have a chute on. I'm going straight down. These thoughts are going in my head. And the guy's like, hold on, and he starts doing this. I said, whatever you just did, don't ever do it again. I'm screaming, I'm not kidding you. It took about 9 minutes to land, and then you land in a farm field, and that's when I said, never again. I'm going to tell you right now, people ask me, did you enjoy it? Not one bit. Not one bit. I didn't enjoy it because I was terrified. It wasn't a non-enjoyable experience. The only good thing about it was the fact that I screamed on free fall, I did it. That literally was the only small but fun moment because I knew there was no going back. Once you jump, you're done. I mean, you're in. I'm like, I have to tell you, there's certain things that throughout my career as a police officer and a number of things, when people tell me things that are life and death, I listen a little bit different. See, 90% of what you hear, even today, even what I'm saying, it's going to go in one ear out the other. It's just white noise. Just 9% of the remaining 10, you're like, oh, wait a second. And then you're going to forget by Tuesday. 1% of what you hear and 1% of what you do, you'll never forget. There's things that have probably been said to you that have been etched in your mind like it was yesterday. There are things that have been done to you, things that you have done, that you can quickly close your eyes, go right back there, and relive it instantaneously. It's that 1% of what listening can do when something takes action. See, I can think of a lot of things, but when I say them, that's the jump. I can think of a lot of great things that I should do. I can listen to all the information that people pump in. And once I do it, that's the jump. So the message that I'm giving you in just a moment, I want you to listen like you've never listened before. Because it absolutely could transform your life. I am a man of God. I am not God. I don't have words that I come up with. I'm being used by the Spirit that is inside me when I got saved and I got a spiritual gift. The words that I'm telling you are not Swanson's words. But if you listen to them, then, if you listen to them and you take and implement it and jump in your life, you're going to see a transformation. This isn't just a check in the box today, fellas. I just said you're here for a reason. You could leave here on a path of total transformation. You even if you have a great life, like, I'm doing pretty good. I mean, what if you could do that much better? I could jump from a stage or I could jump from 16,000 feet. They're both jump. One's a way bigger impact. Listening and jumping. We have an emotion that most women don't have. We have an emotion that is both powerful and destructive. We harbor in our guts a feeling that can burn relationships down or build someone up to a feeling they've never felt before. You have an emotion and a feeling that can just crush the spirit of others, rob dreams and crush them. Or you could save someone's life physically, emotionally, spiritually. Amen. See, that emotion, that feeling we have, I know when I tell you in just a second, you're going to be like, I know exactly. And some of you have it out of control for the wrong reasons. And the reason I know is because for all my adult life, I have been in law enforcement, and I have seen what this emotion, this feeling can do. I've seen, in one of my first homicides, a son use this emotion, this feeling, to jump his father, knock him to the ground, and break off 3 steak knives in his chest. I'm talking steak knives, snap handle. Go grab another one, steak knife, snap handle. You can look him up. His name is Eric Lattimore. When he was in high school, he stabbed his dad to death. The emotion and the feeling right then over his dad was anger. See, women don't have anger like we do. Anger is so destructive yet so powerful. Yes. It is so powerful. God Almighty is angry with sin. He is not angry like we are. He is angry, called righteous anger. When we do things that we know hurt people, that is unrighteous anger. That's destructive. That's the dumb stuff in life. That's the stuff that, you walk into your garage in a little bit and you see shoes everywhere and the garbage isn't emptied and the dishes are in the sink or there's kids' toys there because your wife who's trying to, keep it all together while you're here, your wife that's trying to watch the grandkids while do all this while you're here, she didn't have time to do that. She didn't have time to do all this because, she was doing insignificant things while you were here doing other things, and you come there and you had a great time and now you're angry at that. That's not righteous anger, gentlemen. That anger is destructive to a relationship. You look at your kids. I did this. I'll get to my kids and I'll say things and I'll spout off and I'll hurt them by my words because I'm dealing with some other baggage here, and I come home and they said or done something or haven't done something, and I fire off and it's anger. And then you know what that feeling is when you go to bed? And you just think to yourself, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Why do I let this stupid little stuff bother me? That's self-control. If you lack self-control, that's the kind of stuff that's going to get you angry. I'm not here to talk to you about that. You know exactly what you should and shouldn't do. You're big boys. I'm talking today. Listen and jump using the power of righteous anger. Amen. Now, what gets you angry? What gets you righteously angry? See, I'm looking in this room, and I can't even imagine the story you have. I think of Brother Dave, who lost a 14-year-old daughter to cancer. That's a story, that's a situation where he can be angry and fight juvenile cancer. I'm sure there's men in this room that have been the victims of somebody who's been unfaithful, or maybe there's some addictions, or you know the story. That's the kind of stuff that I want you to ask. What if somebody were to use that venom that you have right now and flip it to do something righteous to save other people? Because that's how movements start. That's how people get cups of cold water in the Dominican. That's how people all around this world get fed, get cared for, get loved. Because the anger is so strong that it moves people to jump. Maybe you have a relationship that you want so bad to work, and you wonder why. It's because maybe you're not angry enough to do the things that are sacrificial enough to do them to make that work. Maybe the finances drive you nuts. Like you go to bed and you wake up with the same burden of financial debt, and you don't know what to do, but yet you're still untrained and undisciplined, spending money that you don't have. It hasn't made you angry enough. You know how I became debt-free? When I realized I was $480,000 in debt. That's when I became debt-free. 27 months later, never debt again. I was so sick of paying $18,000 interest every year on stupid things. I've been married 23 years. Only by the grace of God do I have a woman that I have right now. But you know what? There was time early in my life when I was married that I missed it, and I saw her reaction, and I got angry with what I did, never to do it again. See, anger moves men to do things they wouldn't normally do. And if you're wondering, physically, well, I know I got to do it. Well, if you're not doing it, guess what? You're not ready to jump because you're not angry enough. And maybe what has to happen, unfortunately, is you got to get angrier in order to change, which is dangerous. Why would you want to go any farther down the path of more destruction before you have the chance to jump and it gets worse? You have right now the ability to focus on something that you know is driving you nuts. That all you're doing is holding it back and taking it out on everybody else, instead of getting so angry to say, that's it, I'm fighting for my family. That's it, I'm getting out of debt forever. That's it, I'm getting back to where I was, my fighting stance. That's it, I am going back to the basics of business. As a medic, the best paramedics are the ones who are the best basic EMTs. The best police commanders are the ones who learn how to do it right on the street as a rookie. The best medical examiners, the ones that go there and investigate death scenes, are the ones that right when the class starts, they pay attention to every word, because somebody's loved one is being there in a situation where you need to determine if it was a homicide or not. You got to be on your A game. The things that I want you to be angry about are the things that mean the most. The things that are the highest priority. Don't get distracted by this other nonsense. My question to you is, what are you listening to right now, and how angry are you that's causing you to want to jump? Once that gets to that point and you jump, let me just tell you, amazing things happen. Because there's no turning back. You get to see what happens. You get to watch people's lives transform just by watching your life. People will vicariously change because of your transformation. Families will stop fighting. Kids will start loving. People in Haiti and Dominican, all these others, will start learning that there's love out there. Because they're not getting it where they are right now. And how? Because of you. One day, you can testify. I heard the message. I listened to what they were saying. I listened to the Word of God, and I jumped. And because of that, there's a domino effect of people's lives impacted, inspired, moved, saved. That's what I'm talking about. Amen. The anger, that's a righteous anger. I tell you what, there's things in my life that drive me insane. I hate when people attack this country and the freedoms that we have. I hate when people attack the American citizen who's not perfect, but when that attack comes from within our own country, I burn. I hate when people attack law enforcement. They say racist things. They say things that are unkind. Let me tell you this. When somebody attacks our freedoms, I stand. When all the other folks are running, you stand there. When someone attacks law enforcement, I stand there. I say back. I've answered thousands of 911 calls. Not one time did I say, what faith are they? What color are they? Are they pro-life or pro-choice? Do they believe like I believe? Not one time. I don't. Because I know these are important to me. These are values. I've grown up in law enforcement. It is not just a job for me. It's my calling. I love it. I love helping people in their lowest moments, their darkest days. You come in there. The only way for me to do that is to listen how to be the best cop, the best medic, the best examiner, the best commander I could possibly be. Because these things, they anger me when I'm not at my best, or they anger me when someone takes it for granted. When I'm sitting across somebody getting a confession, I know there's little kids at that house who are broken into. They can't go to bed at night because the boogeyman's still out there. When I'm talking to somebody who has a loved one that's passed away and I'm given a notification, I can just make it all business, but I know that moment is going to be a moment that she or he never forgets. I got to be in my A game. I hate bullies. I've never, ever, ever been a bully. I've always been a victim. a victim growing up until one day I got so angry, never again. You may be bigger, faster, or stronger, but you're going to have to earn it now. I was at a party store 2 weeks ago. I was in plain clothes. I had my pistol on my right side. Guy walks in, he looks at me and goes, "Hey, can I have that?" I said, "If you can take it, you can have it." They're going to have to outwork me. They're going to have to outrun me. I'm making up for lost time, because there's a point in time that I got so angry at what I become physically that I said never again. That was January 1st, 2000, 18 years ago. I hate babies that are being raped. I work with an organization called Operation Underground Railroad. It's an organization that's formed by a guy named Tim Ballard. Tim Ballard worked for Homeland Security. And Homeland Security, he went to these foreign countries. He saw these young, innocent, kidnapped victims that are ripped from the street in all these places that you hear brothers talk about. And they're thrown into a sex trafficking ring, sex trafficking tourism, when the customer is the white American, the customer is the white European. We go into these countries, we set up these arrangements, and undercovers go in and pose as the ones making the purchase. And as this all happens, the traffickers bring these girls in, tears in their eyes, scared to death. Because you can go to these countries that we talk about, and you can buy whatever female you want for the weekend, $35. There's no value. That incenses me. It should incense you. I know it does. When you see a little girl, 14 years old, her name is Sylvia, in Peru, 90 days ago, walking up to where she thinks she's going to a beach party. The trafficker stops her 10 feet from the door and grabs her by the arm and tells her she's there to please the Westerners. Tells her what she's going to do. Tears well up in her eyes. Across that threshold, inside the room, there are Americans, but there are Americans that work for Operation Underground Rescue, and they saved that little girl. There's people that volunteer to go over there, pose, put their lives at risk to go out there and rescue this little girl named Sylvia. That's the kind of stuff that makes people angry. When you go, last night, this time, I was in Haiti. For those that have been in the mission field, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're looking at kids, 5, 6, 7-year-old kids, who don't have what you just have, a smorgasbord of food. They don't have a cafe downtown. They wake up wondering how they're going to eat. Dave said they live in dumps. That's absolutely the truth. Whenever you drive by a dump, can you imagine seeing an entire mob of kids living on that dump and you having enough vision to know what they're doing and still drive by? Not in America, but it's happening right now. Living in the dump, buying and taking food with their life. Living in a place where they're fighting pigs and dogs for the same scraps of food. That angers Swanson. And I'm sure it angers you. So you go to these places to feed them. 1 meal a day, 5 days a week. That's it. Rice and beans. You see these little kids who don't understand what we've got. They have no knowledge of that. But you go there and you give them, for the moment that you're there, a human hug. Hugging from a man who's not there to hurt them. One of the things we do for Operation Underground Railroad, we have aftercare programs. I was in Mexico at an aftercare house, and the lady running the house said, "Hey, listen, we're going to bring a couple girls down here so you can, talk to them and have fun and have lunch with them. They need to know that all white men aren't there to hurt them." I tell you, as I stand here today, they walked down the stairs and all of them shuddered. They didn't know our intentions. It took us over a half hour just to give them the confidence that we're not there to hurt them. I see all the things that they do. These women have been sex trafficked 40,000 times by the time they're 16 years old. 40,000 times. That angers. That's righteous anger. They talk about the mission field, the people that are living right next to you, the people that you go to school with, the people that you're working with. My question to you, gentlemen, listen to this question. What is making you so angry that you need to jump? If you're already doing it, keep doing it. Don't stop. Don't think that you did it once. Oh, that's good. I'm good. No. You jump. A gentleman said earlier in the breakout group, he said, there's no retirement in the Bible. That's right. You're here to do God's work. You've got great talent in this room. You've got incredible minds. You've got finances. You've got proportion. You've got all these things going on in your life. My question is, have you found something that is calling for your righteous anger to take action and jump. When you do, your life will be transformed. I promise you. I promise you this. Nothing I say is a lie, and nothing I say is what I don't do in my own life. I testified to it. I can tell you, the reason I keep going back, the reason I keep doing this, it's not to sell books. It's not to sell t-shirts. I appreciate that. I've been called by God to go do things that anger Him. The Bible says, do to the least of these that you have done for me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. People ask me, when you do this, are you scared? I'm like, I'm not going to die a second before God wants me to. Whether it's in my bed or in a foreign country. I ain't scared. I jumped out of a plane. I'm bad to the bone. You got to find something. And something worth fighting for. See, God's anger is called wrath. And when the people of God disobeyed, the wrath of God came over them to the point of destruction. You may think back in your life, why is this happening? Well, maybe because you're not angry enough to do God's work. Maybe there's not enough something inside here that God's pushing you to do that you've been kind of blocking because it's too inconvenient, because it's going to take too much. That He's been saying, hey, you're being disobedient. I'm telling you to go out the door. Stop sitting in the locker room. Get in the game. You wonder why there may be wrath on your life? It's because of that. But when you're doing God's work, He'll do your work. When you're doing His work, He'll do your work. Don't sweat it. Don't try to figure it all out. Hey, now if I'm here, what's going to happen here? I don't know. You just keep doing God's work. It'll all work out. It'll all work out. It may not work out the way you think, but it'll all work out. I can't afford it. Don't worry about it. You make a heart move first. People all get freaked out about giving and tithing. I'm going to tell you this. God doesn't need your money, period. This church will go on whether you're here or not. You know what God wants? He wants your heart. So when you peel off some greenbacks that you worked hard for, those are His dollars. He just wants to see if you've got enough in here to want to give with a cheerful heart. He wants to know. And that's my cry to you. What's going on? What is causing you the most grief? What is pulling inside your guts more than ever before? And if you don't know, here's 3 ways to find out. Number 1, you have to be aware of the need. You cannot live in a world with blinders on your whole life. There are people within 1 mile of this church that are shooting up with heroin right now. There's people that are being sexually assaulted within 5 miles of this church. There are kids that are being molested. There's people's lives who are destroyed because someone left them. There's older folks that are alone for the first time in 35, 40 years because their spouse died and they are scared to death. There's people that can't read stop signs. There's sons that don't have men in their life. And I'm telling you right now, you don't have to go far. You just got to be aware of the need in your own life. Let's just say this. Let's say in your own life. Forget everybody else. Let's focus on you. Number 1, look at yourself. What is keeping you up at night? What are your buddies coming up to you and say, hey man, you got to get a hold of this. I know. Get angry about that. It doesn't matter your age. If you have to look inside, my point to you is be aware of what the need is. Be aware of what the struggle is. People ask me, why do you go to Haiti? Why do you go to Dominican? Why do you go to Grenada? Why do you go to Honduras? Why do you go? There's people here. Yeah, absolutely. There's people here. People here that are poor. I get that. There's people here that are in poverty. I get that. You know what they don't have here? Misery. When you go to a foreign country with third worldness, with guidelines and people that are living like that, that's a level of need that angers any human being. See, I didn't know that. 2013, I had no clue. I'm like, man, I give to the church. This is no joke. I've never been on the mission field. I just started 5 years ago. My buddy Mark Wood, the same guy that I told you about the commercial, said, hey, I want to talk to you. Pulled me inside. He had this big barn. He had a couple other guys there. They said, hey, this is the need. And they said virtually the same thing that I'm telling you in different words. It took me that long. 5 minutes later, I walk out. I see my wife there. I said, you won't believe this. What? I said, but I'm taking Riley. We're going to Haiti. 7 days in Haiti. I've never missed a year in a mission trip. I've taken my boys every year. It's the best field trip you can take a young man. It's the best field trip you can take a girl. It's the best field trip you can take. See, I had to be aware of the need. I could have easily rejected and say, you know what, I'll give to the mission field. That's good. That's good too, trust me. But did you really jump? I'm talking about jumping when it costs you something. I did not want to spend a Saturday jumping out of an airplane. It had to cost me something. You got to be aware of the need, be aware of the struggle. Ask people, how can I help? What can I do? Where's the need? You're hearing it all the time up here. You got guys all over the place. They're telling you, hey, this is what I'm doing. We'd love to have you. No pressure. What do you mean? There should be pressure. Not from them, but from you. I got to do something. I got to do something. The last thing, I just told my buddy Chad who's here. The last thing I want to do, you want to know what I'm scared about? The 30 seconds before I die. 30 seconds before I die, when I reflect back on my life and I think, did I or did I not? What are my regrets? Why am I so selfish? I got all this money, I've got all these cars, I got all this thing. You say to yourself, I've got all this, but did you really live? Did you really get angry enough to go do something? I'm telling you, how many lives are you touching? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Am I aware of the need all around me? Just like you hear, but you don't listen. You watch, but you don't see. You watch, but you don't see the need. I'm telling you right now, listen. Be aware of the need and the struggle. Number 2, discernment. You know what discernment is? Discernment is peeling the layers of common sense. Peeling the layers of should I or should I not? It doesn't take long. I had a conversation with a guy. He talked to me about a situation he's having in his business. And I said, you already answered your own question. You have this sensation, cops have it, and we go with it. It's called your gut instinct, your sixth sense. You and I both know when we're doing something we shouldn't. That's discernment. When you peel back the layers and ask yourself, is this taking me closer to or farther from where I want to go? Discernment is power, and let's say you don't know it all. Brother Dave, he doesn't have all the answers. You know what he does? He goes ask Brother Dave Coleman. Hey, listen, I feel like this nudge is going on. I feel like this push is going on. Can you help me? Absolutely. Grabs him by the hand, pulls him and says, let's look at things. Let's discern together. Is this a good fit? Here's how you do it. Let me walk the steps with you. And bam! You're on your own. See, discernment is peeling the layers of what you're facing back and asking, what direction do I go? And the more you practice discernment, the easier it gets. When I first started flipping houses, I used to take hours inside a house and days to consider it. I used to be thinking, okay, what about this? What about this? I walk in 15 minutes later, deal's done. Why? Because I've done 20 houses. I can discern quickly lot, neighbors, basement walls, location. Okay, good, bad, no, I like this, I can fix this. Done, let's go. I mean, discernment is anything. My son, my wife asked me to do this, do that. I can do. I oversee 250 cops. A $35 million budget. I can make a command decision instantaneously. Why? Because for my whole career, I've practiced the power of discernment. Do I get it right all the time? Heck no. But I want a sergeant, I want a commander in my police department who can discern based on the facts that they've been given what the need is, and then they jump. So what if they make a mistake? I don't care. You may make a mistake. Keep jumping. You may make a mistake. You have a guy next to you that's going to punch you in the face and push you out. You have a brother next to you that's going to keep you on track. You have to know what the need is. You have to discern in your life how to get it done. But here's the difference. I'm telling you, brothers, this is the difference between the sheep and the goats, the ordinary and extraordinary. This is the difference between people I see all over the world. This is what keeps people from jumping. This is that one thing that when you're there and you have that 30 seconds, that you're going to have regret. And I'm going to tell you, do not make an excuse. Don't you dare make an excuse of the power that's within you. Don't you dare listen to the words from other people. The things that you say about yourself, don't you dare let that inside. That is Satan. He's here to steal, kill, and destroy every thought in your head, every power that you have. That is his total mission. He's the father of lies. It's his native language. I can't do it. I'm too this. I'm too that. That's crap. Who's more powerful? Who's more powerful? You can't even look at the sun for 30 seconds without burning your eyes. That's just one star that God made. You want to have the power of God's presence? He's 10,000 times more powerful than the sun that you and I can't even look at. You go with the power of God. And you use that to do the third step, and that is discipline to get it done. Discipline gets you out of the locker room and puts you right on the field. And the more you're disciplined in your life in one area, the more it's going to bleed over in other areas. I'm telling you guys. Discipline your life to get it done. Everything from your toes to your head, from your bedroom to your yard, from your town to your state to your country to every corner of this world. Every corner. There should not be one corner of your life that's not disciplined. And I'm not talking military discipline. That's a good example. I'm talking about things that you know you are in control of. I can't control this brother. I can't give him discipline, but I know what I can do. I can be disciplined. He can watch me. Together we stand together. Together we're disciplined. Movements happen. See, the discipline in people's lives is what keeps you from getting things done. Because you start through it, you go through it, and you peter out because some distraction comes in. Some of that 90% stuff. Please, brothers, if you ever want to feel the power that's within you, then be disciplined to get things done that matter. To be the man of integrity, the husband, the father, the worker, the one who people look at and know they're dialed in. Yes. You got to know the need. Seek the need. You have to discern what you're going to do to get it done. And you've got to be disciplined to get it done. Every moment of your life, this is a call to action. This is a call to action. When God sent his son to save you, it was because of his anger and wrath within us that's causing us to sin. He took that from us. He drank the whole thing. He gave us a commission to do the exact same thing to our brothers and sisters from now to the day you die, to go into the world. Preach the good news of Jesus Christ. Baptize them in the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. If you don't know what to do, that's your first commission. To look at lost people and say, you're going to hell. Your marriage is going to hell. Your whole life is going to hell. Let me show you what God can do to bring that all back. Be bold. You don't have to have my personality. You got your own. God gave you you. You'll never be another you ever again. But you have you and the power within you to be disciplined to get things done and impact lives and be used as a utensil, as an instrument for God. And watch lives transform, because it's not your power. Whose power? Mighty King's power. You come there with an army. You come there with an army. People are hungry for help. They're dying for your help. Will you jump? Will you jump for a cause that people are going to be impacted for the rest of their life? Can your name be attached to that? Let me just tell you, with that comes a blessing that you can't even fathom. Because God doesn't ask us to do anything without a blessing. Deuteronomy 28 says, you be obedient, you get blessed. You become disobedient, you're cursed. Done! People are like, oh, the Bible's so complicated. No, it ain't. Don't be an idiot, and you're blessed. Be an idiot, and you're cursed. Don't be an idiot, father, husband, you'll be blessed. Be an idiot, father, husband, you'll be cursed. Well, you've been given a commission today. You've been given a commission. Now, you can leave and say, I'm not going to decide, but you've already decided. If you have not confessed with your mouth and believed in your heart that Christ died for your sins, first commitment you got to make is that. Then you can be used. Because if you're not used by God, you're being used by Satan. God builds, Satan destroys. Second thing, once you answer that, don't go back. Don't pull back. Don't say to yourself, I can't do it. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. He is my shepherd. He leads me to green pastures. He keeps me from danger. There's no weapon fashioned against me that will ever prosper. Greater is he that's in me, that's in this stinking world. Once you believe that, man, you can do things in people's lives and watch them jump. My question to you is, are you going to answer the call and will you jump?
Yes.
If you're going to jump, you stand up. You stand up. You say, I'm ready to jump. Look at these guys. They're going to jump. Brett's going to jump. And don't do it out of pressure. Look at the brothers next to you. Maybe you got some time you need. Maybe there's something going on. You just need to jump. And I'm telling you right now, God's speaking to your heart, and you don't know what to do. Look at these brothers that are standing there. You say, hey, listen, you shut up. Tell me why. I want to do something. This isn't for you to figure out in the next 30 minutes of your life. This is for you to be planting a seed, for God to work in your life, and for you to answer the call. All you got to do is jump. He'll take care of the rest.